And a very good warm welcome to every single one of you this evening. We're on to the Challenger Battle for week number 8 inside season 1. It's been a hectic 7 weeks, but we all here. Everyone is joined. We've got 16 teams joined inside the lobby. And joining me this evening, Mr. Nelius Viking. What's up, my dude?
Oh, hi guys. Thanks for having me once again. It's nice having this opportunity every now and then. It's fun to see these teams battled out.
Yeah, 100%. And everyone's going to be jumping into the plane yet again. And we get ready to start off our Challenger battle here this evening. And a couple new teams coming in here, Viking. Couple new teams, or one team at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think if in total we have 4 new teams to the season. Well, not necessarily new teams. It's just some teams that split off and created new teams, or some old players coming back and playing again. So it's really good to see these people either joining or coming back from leaving the scene back in the day. So yeah, I mean we're going places with the amount of people coming back and joining.
Yeah, 100%. We got Bipolar Bots that's actually joined us with Rome Cup as well. God of Melees, Mr. Lab. I mean, these guys I casted back in the medal state days. I mean, we're talking a couple of years back now. So that's quite a few years ago. We also got the new team of Blowwald, who's sending themselves over to Montenuvo along with Brothers in Arms there as well. A couple teams also kind of landing on top of you. We've got Friendly Fire and Death Seekers kind of close on that western side there as well.
Yeah, so I mean, fun topic here. I think Friendly Fire and Death Seekers used to be like quite close, and I think they had a fallout. So I think this is planned, that they're trying to land on one another and then take each other out.
Yeah. So let's see how that battle turns out to be there and see what happens. Circle Pops goes over to the western part of the map, and this is predominantly a lot of these teams. Only 1, 2, 3 teams outside the circle here. So I think we're going to see quite stationary teams here, Viking, especially because of this where the zone is situated at this stage.
Yeah, I think the northwestern part, the teams will probably just stay where they are, just scout a bit, maybe try to just edge in, center up a little more. But I think we might have some more action in the southern parts as the teams try to rotate, maybe rotate into one another or something. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a basic first zone, I would say.
Yeah, it's a basic first zone. We've seen some pretty insane circles coming out of recent, but this is cool to hear it all. Well, to see a little bit more, let's say, normal come back to PUBG in some ways, because it's been pretty intense with the way these circles are shifting.
I mean, you don't need to jinx it now. You can get some sunny shifts from the next phases. So let's touch wood on that one.
Yeah, let's touch wood on. We're gonna see the goats here quite split up. We've got some of them in the crater. We've got some in the compound. One of the Swifters now gotten himself into El Pozo as well. And for the Bipolar Bots, the new team joining us back yet again, going to be heading over towards Power Grid there. And obviously we saw that our teams inside Montenuvo. Let's see if our new team here, we got Raven on screen. Gonna just be looking over towards Brothers in Arms every now and again. And Brothers in Arms pretty much situated a 2-2 split here on these two compounds here. But probably gonna hold it out for now. I don't see them trying to engage too much at this stage.
I mean, I think that because they are in the zone, and the zone has the opportunity to shift down to the south and end in Montenuvo, I think Brothers in Arms are just playing this slow. They don't want to lose any players unnecessarily, so they're sticking together, just trying to find out where the team that contested them dropped.
We have the Bipolar Bots making their movement as well into zone. Quick movement, all of them in a clown car for now, but they're going to stop off on top of this hill. Got some sort of sight lines, but not the best to kind of scout everything off here. You can't really see the compounds down below here or anything like that. But for now, I mean, they're going to... I'm pretty sure they got Andrew, who's moved over from iClicks Gaming over towards Bipolar Bots here. He'll have some experience of how these teams play. But for the rest of these guys coming back into the scene, take it slow. I would say take it slow.
I mean, I've seen some of them in the Twitch chat before, so I'm pretty sure they're up to date on the teams and like how the game still runs. So I don't think they'll have many issues with that. Luckily, they are quite in a decent position right now. It's just going to be interesting to see whether they stay grouped like this or take advantage of their early rotation.
Yeah. And a question for you, because you obviously played in these new rule sets, right? This first phase, the 240 seconds that we have to wait for this first blue zone to start its shrink, how has that changed the gameplay there for you guys? Does it allow you guys more time? Do you guys focus on getting maybe the loot that you want, or does this or do you try and take advantage that everyone's still looting up and still inside, or trying to make their way in a bit later? From a player's perspective, how do you find these new rule settings for you guys?
I mean, it's interesting. When we first started on the new settings, I was like, okay, cool. It's more time for us to loot. But seeing how the teams rotate and seeing how the teams, well, some of the higher tier teams that we compete against rotate, a lot of them actually still rotate on the same amount of time, and we had to do the same. So we still loot our normal time, maybe go over like extra 20 seconds if we really need something. But I think that the mostly where we benefit out of the extra time is just getting a good spot in the first zone. That extra time. So we try to rotate early still, but then we use that extra minute just to fine tune and make sure that we don't die in rotation in the first phase.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, this is from a viewer's perspective. Obviously, we have this kind of like this lull time, right? I mean, the players need to get themselves all kitted up, get ready for the battle. But also for these teams, like for instance, as we can see, we got extended mag outside of the circle here. We also got the Tunisian Risers. We've got the Rusty Genesis coming in from the south as well. These teams kind of need to find a way in. It's going to be not so difficult to get themselves in towards this circle at this stage. You can see extended mag going to make their rotation up towards the north and then come in from the east, I would suspect. But we got a couple shots coming out here from the Smurfs onto the members of, if I can't see that, actually it's a goat sitting on the top of there's Falcon, takes a couple shots over towards the goat's member of 11s. It's a far distance as eventually the player name renders itself in here, and Millie will take out Born Slippy there on the corner of, as the team Rusty Genesis is trying to make their rotations in here. So Millie will pick up the first kill of the evening. This is good for Team Wolves, a little bit of confidence booster getting in that early.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just unlucky there for Born Slippy. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't have thought that teams would have been still sitting there on the edge of phase one. Teams usually tend to try and center up. But we know Wolf Squads like to play the edge. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Even if they made it past Wolf Squads, there would have been another team waiting for them on that road. So, it seems like at least losing one player gives them that information to choose another route.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be interesting to see where the Rusty Genesis actually tries to land up here. I mean, they can go over towards the very far western road here and make their rotation in towards the circle. That should be no problems for them. You can see Tunisian Rises has got themselves out of Al Zahar and on their way in towards the circle as well. As we see, Extended Mag do make that little rotation to the north and now trying to get a little bit more closer to that center of the circle, it would seem. And for Friendly Fire and the Death Seekers, it's just this little long range battle that's not going to really amount to anything right now.
I mean, it's funny to see how the teams are pretty much stagnant right now. They're just like eyeing each other out, trying. I mean, obviously, we talked about Friendly Fire and Death Seekers. They're probably not going to leave until one of the teams are dead. Which is good to see. It's nice to have some rivalries here and there. I mean, Rogue Wolf getting his head taken off right there from low speed. I mean, yeah, these teams are probably just gonna battle it out probably until the blue zone goes over one another. I don't see any of these teams really aggro pushing onto one or the other.
No, I don't see it from this, especially with the types of player that these guys are. They do like to bunker themselves down just a little bit here. But it's just going to be one of those, how much damage can you deal towards armor? I mean, these guys do have the compound, so there might be some spare armor there for them should be okay for now. But as we see, all teams have pretty much made it inside the circle, and it's looking pretty good here. But you can see the Goats and the Smurfs up in the north gonna soon take out a short little battle here. Swifter gets tagged up on the hillside here from the members of the Smurfs. Obi gonna just pull himself just a little back there. He's got 8 times an SLR as well, and you know, it's just one of these, another long range battle. But Kingwood's gonna have to be careful here with the 2 members down inside the warehouse here.
I mean, Smurfs are sitting in a quite weird spot. I mean, the zone's gonna shift now, and I don't see them really having a quick rotation. They're probably gonna have to wait for. I mean, okay. I take my words back. The shift actually helps them there. It gives them more time to rotate or to clear up this fight. We don't see any of the other teams really being inside the zone.
Yeah, that's true. But the Goats actually doing a flank position here. They're using the buggy to the advantage here. Has the Smurfs spotted this one out here? Looks like Falcon's going to make his way over here. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the members of Smurfs as the Goats do make their rotation up here. And I don't think the Smurfs are ready for this Viking. It's gonna be a tough one. Can Obi win out these aim battles? I think Obi has spotted them out. Indeed he has. And
I really like the split from the Goats though. I mean, Swifter can give all the information to his team from up on the mountain.
Yeah, Vulcan has been spotted out. The grenade's going to come out here from the members of the Goats. That's going to be alright on the money there for Falcon. Gets tagged up there. Another grenade's going to be lobbed back at them. That's a good grenade there from Obi. Doesn't connect onto anyone at this stage, as Falcon's now being dropped here. What can Obi do against the Goats here? But H Pro S, this is going to be a difficult spot here for the Smurfs to play off here.
Yeah, I think Kingon is actually just trying to pull Moby back. I mean, they aren't a full team, and with Swifter having that back information, they're just going to try and get out of this one, it seems.
Yeah, it looks like they are rotating themselves out. Swifter's still going to be giving that information out towards his team here, as you see the Smurfs retreating from that hillside battle here. But if they're going to push any more further here, it may just make that ping over towards them, as we hear a lot of shots getting rained out there from the Tunisian Risers onto Extended Mag, as Extended Mag tries to get themselves in towards the Al Pozo area. Mitch Main crashes out his Marauder, blows up in the air, but he needs to get some cover here. He does just manage to get behind the dump truck here, and this is a precarious position here for Mitch Main, but it looks like he'll get himself out of that situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good rotate from them. I mean, lately we've been seeing a lot of zones ending in cities. So it's good for them to be reading that and just making a run for it in phase 2 already. Taking the edge, so they still have the options of leaving the city if it does shift away.
Yep. And it'll be interesting to see. I did that little bit of that like analysis of the games on Sunday to see if these teams, some of these teams I know like Brothers in Arms were watching it as well, to see if they kind of learned anything from yesterday as well. You know, these mountain areas not going to end there. You know, where's the likelihood of this circle? You're gonna put most of your money on Al Pozo here. I mean, that's definitely where your money would go, is Al Pozo for this ending, pretty much at this stage, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And then we got Obi does get taken out there. He's going to be crawling for his life, but that's going to be shortly lived there, as I'm pretty sure that he's going to get. But Kingon's under a lot of pressure as Swifter moves down the hill here. Ooh, that would have been a good grenade. And quick work there by the Goats, and Smurfs get eliminated in 16th position.
Yeah, I mean, they just overstayed their welcome there. I think they tried to escape, but I think they just took too long to get to their vehicles and get out of that position. The Goats played that really well. Really good teamwork from them, and just clearing the Smurfs out ready for the next rotation now.
Yeah.
As we see, the zone actually does shift down towards Al Pozo now. And with the mountains sitting there in the southern part, it's most likely after the next zone going to shift to the north, and they're going to have a laggy Al Pozo ending.
Yep, and that's, you know, that's always so tough for the teams to get through that when it's so laggy here. Griffin's going to bleed out towards the zone there, as Millie goes going to continue on his way here. Bad Girl going to pick up a buggy and going to try and zip at this zone already in phase 3, and it's going to be tough here for the Wolf quads to get themselves inside this circle. for the next phase as we shift over towards that. We've got Friendly Fire that's moved out of there, moved quite just directly in towards the thing, and they're going to be taking on a battle here with Genesis as Lang Yang spots out one of the members of Friendly Fire, and he gets tagged up a little bit as well, but Genesis still need to get themselves inside the circle here.
Yeah, I mean, it's still interesting to see that we have, 5 teams sitting here in the southeastern part of the map, knowing that the zone will definitely shift into El Pozo. So you can see a lot of the teams trying to make their way into El Pozo quickly so that they can have that final ending building, probably like before someone else can get it. But then you see these other teams just saying like, well, there's probably people there already. I'm just going to see how many kills I can get on the edge.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's, as we see, the new team of Microtech. Familiar names though, but a brand new team as they've formed of Frenchie, DJ Epics, and it's a Nano. I'm gonna form out a team here, and I'm quite looking forward to seeing what this squad can do here, Viking, because we got DJ Epics and Frenchie and Nano for that matter as well that really have shown promise in other different teams here.
Yeah, 100%. These guys can frag. I mean, unlucky for them, they're playing as a 3-man tonight, but I mean, I'm sure they'll show us what they've got.
Yeah, 100%. They're inside El Pozo for now, and it's going to be a rough rotate here for Brothers in Arms. It's going to be as Genesis come in behind the Brothers in Arms members. As the shots get taken out there, Mars going to bleed out to the zone somewhere. He must have had a disconnect, which is really unfortunate for them. But I mean, El Pozo, we're talking about like, you know, too scared to make a move, but El Pozo is a big city. There's a lot of space here to play for a lot of the teams here.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see, I think there's 6 or 7 teams in El Pozo already, but all of them are actually just controlling 1 or maybe 2 buildings. So there's a lot of free area and free terrain. The teams just need to work on their scouting capabilities. But now, on the lower end of the map, Blowworld actually pushed onto Friendly Fire here.
Blowworld has pushed onto Friendly Fire, and Pedro going to be looking out for Colapelli. Does get that M24 shot. M24 shot on towards Colapelli. Doesn't get the knock though for now. Pedro gets tagged up as well, and these two teams are just going to fight it out on the southern end, and there goes the circle shift straight over El Pozo. We're going to be in El Pozo, and here we go. And ooh, God of Millies will pick up, and Andrew will pick up Shadow Warrior. That's Team Wolf Cards out in 15th position, and Bipolar Bots pick up their first points of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite a rough rotation. I think Warwolf Cards actually just came out of the blue from the rotation from Montenuvo, and they ran straight into Bipolar Bots there. So quite unfortunate rotation from there. They're maybe just taking it a bit too far.
Yeah, as now we see Bish going to make their movement on towards Brothers in Arms. Brothers in Arms busy sorting out a couple of things, as I heard from Slayer on his stream the other day. Going to be coming and bringing something new to the team. I don't think it's coming this week though, but it's definitely something for them to watch out for as the shots now get rained out towards Brothers in Arms. Bish, Zandok, can he hit those shots? Not able to hit those shots now, but he needs to be careful. Rusty Genesis coming over the hill on his left-hand side here.
Yeah, I think Brothers in Arms are in a really bad situation right now. I mean, even Rusty Genesis coming from behind, Team Diversity, Bipolar Bots, everyone has eyes on them right now because they went for the high ground. It's just, there's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah, and Andrew will take out one of the members of Brothers in Arms. Gasman's going to get flushed out there fairly shortly as he tries to make his way in. Got Genesis coming in from behind the Brothers in Arms. Has Deervalt spotted them out. Bish spotted out Deervalt though. Still getting tagged up here. He's going to try to take a shot on towards Brothers in Arms. Can he hit that M24? Shot, he can't at this stage. Lang Yang's going to go, but Bish is going to take out, as we move to a different perspective entirely. Not entirely sure how that always happens. Lately, Observer's been a bit buggy, but Alpha going to be the last member standing here for the Genesis crew, and the Rusty Genesis will get eliminated out in 14th position. Good little control there with the M16 there for left there.
Also, yeah, really good shots there. And also interesting hold from the Bish team. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, Brothers in Arms just trying to get into the zone immediately. Here, Bish, they were just playing their blue, killing the teams as they were rotating in and playing the zone to perfection, I would say.
Now, Bish is going to have to make their movement in. They've got a little bit of the circle to play with, but is it enough for them to give themselves cover. But the next circle, Bish it's going to be a tough rotate for them to get inside here. Friendly Fire gets eliminated out in 13th position, but as I was saying, Bish, it's going to be tough for them in the next circle here.
Yeah, I mean, this next zone is probably gonna be the hardest shift for all of these teams. Everyone is sitting happy now. Actually, like, it's a pretty decent circle. I mean, yeah, Bish is having a really hard time there, but there's something that they can still do. They can maybe play to the depths of their right. They'll just need to take some shots onto bipolar bots there. But every team should be able to get into a place in the zone.
Yeah, indeed, as now Bish are on a bit of spots of bother here. Two members have been knocked out. Can maybe the Brothers in Arms do something about Bish inside the smokes here? Has Slayer spotted this one out? Looks like he's just going to hold there for now, as Rambo going to take some shots on towards Bish, and now Brothers in Arms going to turn the tables, and Bish is getting slaughtered on top of this hill here, and it's not looking good for them, as now Bish will be left with the one member. Coconut Warrior left there at the moment. Can he get to Zandog? We're going to check over here. The three of his teammates there has been eliminated, and Coconut Warrior now exposes himself towards everybody that's sitting in El Paso, and Bish is going to be eliminated in 11th position. And like we said earlier, Viking, these teams from the south are going to struggle to get into the zone.
Yeah, definitely, but at the end of the day, we pretty much knew where the zone was going to go from the earlier stages, so they had the possibility to move in earlier and try to get the better zone. Right now, I think Team Tunisian Risers still need to make their way in on the right side of the map. It seems like Against All Odds know that they are somewhere near, but I don't think they noticed Diablo rotating so far right.
Yeah, you can see they're busy looking. You can see a couple. Looks like Ucha has spotted that out as Brothers in Arms get eliminated out in 10th position there. BRS gonna finish them off there. In the background, Rogue Wolf gonna get taken out there in the background as Death Seekers also trying to get themselves bullet for days. Last member standing here for the Death Seekers, and the Goats have got the number of bullet for days, that's for sure. Will be spotted out here. Can they get the shots on towards bullet for days? Oh, great little shot coming out there from the member of the Goats. And can they finish this one off over here? Can he get into cover just in time as he makes the run there? Just gets into cover there, but Boldwold gonna get annihilated here as Beerus gonna jump off the world, and 9th goes out Blowworld. It's just chaos ensuing everywhere inside El Paso here, Viking.
Yeah, I mean, the teams are still sticking to the edge. I think the only team that went for the central compound was Extended Mag. All of the teams, they're just fighting on the edge, just trying to gatekeep all of the teams and not really paying attention, as Tunisian Risers also gets taken out now by Against All Odds as they were trying to make their way into the zone.
Yeah, so Against All Odds will pick up the 2 points there for themselves as Death Seekers eventually get spotted out there. They'll be eliminated out in 7th position, and now the fun starts, I guess, because now we got Mr. Lab and all of them are going to take on over towards Microtech. Can they win out these things? Ramcut going to be making his return to PUBG. Good to see him back in the scene as well, as now it looks like Bipolar Pot's going to pull themselves back here as Microtech get the heals off. Nano will be healing on towards Frenchie. GJ Epic's quite far away from his team here, but circle shifts down towards the south of El Paso here.
Yeah, I think Bipolar Bots are sitting in a really nice position. I think the only problem they might have late game is if one of the bigger teams take the arena, and they won't really have that much room to work with. But right now, Bipolar Bots sitting in a really good position to gatekeep Microtech. I think Microtech could like group up a bit more and maybe focus Against All Odds coming from the top right corner of the map now. But as we can see on the left as well, the Goats actually need to make their way in now, while Team Diversity are trying to gatekeep them.
Yeah, Team Diversity I don't think has spotted out the Goats here, making their movement in towards the little hotel area here, as Frenchie will take out the member of Against All Odds. Deathlock gets knocked out there. So does Ucha from Mitch Main. On the opposite side, Dan, last member standing here for Against All Odds, and it's gone all bad here for Against All Odds as Deathlock going to get flushed out instantly there. Do they spot out? Dan will take a shot on towards Frenchie. He will get that knock onto him, but can he get onto DJ Epix? We've seen how good this play is, and that Molotov almost hitting on its point, and that was a good Molotov there from Dan.
Yeah, Dan just trying to get into the building now. He wants to mate up. The zone is already moving, so I don't know exactly what he's trying to do. Maybe he's going to try and... Okay, no, he's going for it. He's going to have to just try and run it out. But I don't see a world in where DJ Epix and his team will let that happen.
Oh, he just makes it behind cover, behind the Winnebago there. And Uchak going to try and crawl for his life here inside the zone. No one has spotted him out at this stage. Nano has got a good read on what exactly is going to happen. That smoke's not going to block. Oh, he looks away at the wrong time. Oh, Dan gets knocked up again over here, but DJ Epix will finish out Ucha. Mitch Main gonna take some shots on it, and this may just assist against the odds here with extended mag sitting in the center compound here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just difficult for Dan. Everyone's just shooting at him, and he just needs to run into the zone.
Against the odds.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they were having the sightlines on him, just missing his shots here and there, but at the end of the day, they got him. But now, I mean, none of the teams have taken arena yet.
No one second. You got a good point there. I think this is going to shift down to south as I say that it does. And, you know, where Bipolar Bots is situated, it's most likely going to end somewhere in this little open area here, because it's not going to end in a building. Well, we hope it won't end in a building. That just becomes a medal in the end of the day. But I think Bipolar Bots have got a good entry point in towards this next couple phases here.
As DJ Epix just knocks and flushes his teammate.
That's a bit of a strange one. Maybe he had a disconnect there, maybe, and not opting to give. Yeah, would be a disconnect, and then not opting to give that point to another team. A good quick thinking there coming out from the Microtech boys. As Ramkat just has a look over towards to see if he can maybe spot out one of the members of Microtech making their rotations in here. They do have to make their way in here, does Microtech, and it's going to be a tough one as Mitch Main will get Nano in the background there, and DJ Epix will be the last member standing here. Can he do something? But he does have this arena to play in front of him, does make it to the wall just outside of circle here.
Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see how he does make his way. He does have one smoke available. So if he places that one smoke to perfection, there's a way that he can pass and get into a more central position. I mean, Ramkat getting the angles there.
Yes, look at that angle that Ramkat got on DJ Epix there. The smallest of angles. Oh, he does get tagged up again by Bipolar Bots using these tight little angles, and DJ Epix is in such a tough spot now. The smoke has been deployed, like you said. Will the smoke help him to get that cross across? It may just give him that side of the Winnebago, going to be in the way as well. Can he do it? He's not. Oh, this is some intelligent play here from DJ Epix. I do like this from him. There was some, you know, not opting to go all the way in, but he probably could have, because the sightlines for the Bipolar Bots could have actually done it. Andrew's got that sightline there, but here come Extended Mag into the arena, the boxing arena now. And Extended Mag now will take control out of that one as well as the fight in the western part. Now we'll kick off Goats versus Team Diversity.
Yeah, I mean, the Goats just, being pushed by the zone here. I mean, we see all of these teams just getting gate kept on the blue. And because everyone's moving so late and just trying to be on the blue, when they do get into a fight, they're in such a bad position because they are forced to push out. Otherwise, they would just get killed by the blue zone there. So, really interesting to see how these teams don't really opt to move more into the central positions of the zone early on.
And we're looking at the centers. Pretty much that will be center of the next phase, because phase 8 does pop and it does shift over towards the majority of the teams. Team Diversity gonna have to get themselves in towards the circle here. Have to go through Extended Mag to a certain point here. Extended Mag do have the arena, as we said earlier on. Mitch Main is controlling this whole end over on the side here, and Mitch Main's position here is pretty good for them.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think they know about DJ Epix. DJ Epix could play such a vital part in this end game. I mean, if it ends up being a 4v4 between Bipolar Bots and Extended Mag, the one knock from DJ Epix might just swing it in Bipolar Bots' favor.
It may just do that. Extended mag, don't spot out Android and Beerus, making that rotation in towards this little compound here. They're just on the edge. They can play inside. They can also exit out of that building as well, but they're going to be kind of surrounded here. We got Bipolar Bots to their south and to their northeast. They're going to have extended mag, but like you said, DJ Epix just going to be holding out the stairwell here, as you know, definitely this is probably an exit point here for Head Quicker, and this is going to be what can DJ Epix do to extended mag here, which may just lose them the game as well, like you mentioned. 4 up for Bipolar Bots, extended mag 4 up, 2 for Team Diversity, and 1 for Microtech. And now final circle has been, and there it is, the center of all centers. Here we go, ladies and gents, as of now will kick off, and Mitch Main will get a couple shots of it towards Android here.
I mean, Android playing that really smart, going for the prone there to eliminate the peak there from Mitchmain. I think Mitchmain could have predicted Android going prone, maybe pre-fired that area, but really good shots from Android. And you can see Bipolar Bots actually reacting on that and making an early rotation into a good part of the zone. Claiming a lot of the territory that will be needed at the late game.
Beerus gets knocked out there by Andrew, and the fight has now started to kick off here, as now the teams are going to start getting ever so closer towards each other. Android, can he do anything here for extended mag? Smokes are running out here. He will now spot both members. He's going to take a spray. He'll get one of the members down. God of Mealies will get knocked out. Beerus going to get raised inside that smoke for now. And here comes DJ Epix. Will get eliminated out in the background as Head Quicker now we'll try and see what he can spot out here. He's got Mr. Lab just to use the left hand side here. And for the extended mag guys, we need to get them all cells up and running. Android will get out Andrew as well. And the team in Diversity doing massive work here over towards Bipolar Bots. Are just stuck behind this wall here, Viking.
I mean, they're taking the early position, which should have been the perfect move for them. Just backfired as both the other teams were just focusing on them. Extended mag, Vent actually pushing up to the wall now, knowing that Team Diversity is right next to them. Taking the shot, but not hitting them through that small angle. Actually getting the knock onto Beerus. I mean, this still gives Ramkat the opportunity. He has revived Mr. Lab. I mean, this is still anyone's game here.
Yeah, this is going to be a tight finish here. Mr. Lab does get knocked out here. Ramkat is still last member standing here for the Bipolar Bots. Is going to be inside the smoke, but he does get spotted out there. Bipolar Bots go out in third. And now it is a 2v2. Now 2v1. Can he win it out? Extended mag will take out the win in the end with 6 kills. A crazy ending in El Pozo, as to be expected. And whew, extended mag come out on top there, Viking.
I mean, that was quite the interesting final zone. I mean, I think we had 3 solos. No, I think extended mag was a duo, but at the end of the day, it almost came down to a 3 solo battle there for that win. I mean, each of these teams playing it really well to get to that point. I think Bipolar Bots maybe just grouping up a bit too much, and both teams like focusing that area. I think they just might have wanted to play it a bit differently there. But at the end of the day, all of these teams just coming out on top and having a good game there.
Yeah, it was definitely a good game to watch there as well. In second position, Team Diversity will be coming out with a total of 13 kills. I mean, these guys did some work inside the lobby as well. Third position, Bipolar Bots will finish out with 4 kills. In fourth position, we have the Microtech guys coming out with a total of 6 kills. And rounding up your top 5, there was the GOAT finishing off with a total of 7 kills, picking up quite a few kills there across the top 5 there. And that is game number 1, done and dusted. We move on to match number 2, which will be another Miramar. It is only 4 games this evening as well. Remember, if you do see a power play that you saw there and you want to clip it and send it over to us as well, and we will put it into the next week's round of draw. And yeah, let's see what happens on that one as well. But yeah, give us a couple minutes. We'll be back soon, so stay tuned. And welcome back to match number 2 of the evening, our last Miramar before we head on to 2 Erangles to finish off our evening on the Challenger Battle on week number 8 for PUBG Africa. And Viking, this playing path, as we hear a couple of the dogs screaming in the background.
That just as excited as I am.
There we go. I like it. Flight path, it should be quite good here for a lot of the teams.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not sure where these teams want to drop anymore, to be honest. Like, it seems like every game they drop on a different position. I think they themselves don't really know where they want to go. So, I mean, it leaves us up for an interesting game. I'm just hoping we maybe see some more drops.
Well, we might indeed. A couple of teams going to try and change it up here, it seems. We got, obviously, with Brothers in Arms not able to get to Montenuvo. They're going to be looking to head over towards Power Grid. Alongside here, we also have the members of the Bipolar Bots also going to be heading over to Power Grid. And it's Bish as well, quite far spread out on the south side of San Martin here as well.
Yeah, I mean, unlucky for Bipolar Bots. I mean, they're just playing as a 3-man right now. So, seems like Brothers in Arms will opt to just go for the compounds beneath them. So, not contesting Bipolar Bots there in Power Grid. We see 2 teams in Los Leones, but they're so spread out, one in the north, one in the south. Not really going to have a battle there. Yeah, I mean, Brothers in Arms taking some shots now onto the players of Bipolar Bots, but not getting any tags as of yet.
I mean, it's super difficult to get these tags, and let's. I mean, it is not the easiest thing to get a tag with the guys in the air there. So, Bipolar Bots will be fine, sending themselves in towards Power Grid, and that circle shifts very far down to the south here, Viking.
I mean, this is really interesting. I don't know if you guys have been watching the PGIS, but I think in the latest 2 weeks, we've probably had 4 or 5 zones ending in Los Leones, either in the northern part or in the southern part today. So I don't know what's been going on. So, I mean, this zone should end in the fields, I would say, close to where Rasi Genesis are currently. But I wouldn't be surprised if this zone pulled up to end in Los Leones as well.
I mean, there is a possibility of Los Leones. We also got these sort of areas here, as the observer puts me down. We got these sort of areas down towards the south here as well that can end up on these sort of hills here as well. You know, this with the amount of water that's sitting inside this circle as well. It's going to be it's going to be a tough one. You can see a couple teams, Bish already making their movement out of San Martin, obviously opting out to maybe loot somewhere else here, get themselves maybe earlier in towards the circle, but we'll see and keep monitoring on them as well. And yeah, it's pretty, I mean, all the teams are kind of separated now. Right now, it doesn't look like many people are going to be invading much right now.
I mean, I'm going to ask you this. So the previous game, we saw a circle starting on with, I think we had like 5 teams or 4 teams that weren't in the zone,
or
the first zone.
The 2 teams.
You know? I mean, now we have 3 teams that's in the zone. How is that going to affect the play styles of these players?
I mean, there's not much movement here for the entry points in towards the circle here. It's going to be difficult. If your team is here first and you want to gate the edges of the circle, you can definitely do that, and it's going to funnel these teams like this sort of circle funnels teams, right? Not really near the Porto Pariso side of things on the eastern side of the circle, but for the kind of north and east part here, you kind of funneled into one rotation path almost, right? So it's going to be interesting to see if these teams, I mean, this is the Challenger Battle. We got a couple new teams as well. We know that the Challenger Battle is the teams that don't make the top 16 of our ELO board. So these are like, you know, the teams that are up and coming and getting themselves closer and closer towards that top 16. And it's going to be interesting to see which teams start to try and gatekeep on certain rotation paths. That will be the interesting thing to see further into this game. We can see already the brothers in arms are making their movement already in towards the circle. So they kind of the first team really to make a movement here.
Yeah,
And
I don't
within
think
5
they
minutes.
had the best place to loot though.
And
I think that's all up to them just not just looting up quickly because of the place that they landed on. So it's gonna be interesting if they opt to get more loot or if they're actually just trying to get into the zone.
I mean, they're gonna need more. Rambo here, I'm trying to look at his back here, hasn't got anything else here to play with, so he needs some more loot, that is for sure. Slayer and his son and MPS all gonna be inside the car here, as they're gonna Gasman gonna jump out of his vehicle here. I'll jump out and get his own vehicle as they continue on their rotation. Coming in from the northern side, Extended Mag also leaving out. Minas Generalis are going to be a little bit more kitted out here, as you know, compared to Brothers in Arms.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it is nice to see them actually finishing their rotation and not stopping to loot. You know, prioritizing the rotation over getting some extra loot. Interesting though, in the center of the zone, we just got a drop. And Trident went to loot it, but opted to keep the AK over the AUG.
Interesting movement, really. Yeah, I mean, he can split up his bullets a lot. He's got 280 5.56 rounds now, and now what is he going to pick up? An M4. So, I mean, the AUG, a lot of players don't like the AUG though, Viking. That just seems to be the thing though.
Yeah, I mean, which I don't understand. I think the AUG is probably one of the best guns. I mean, it has the damage of AR, but has the recoil of an SMG. So, I mean, it's a perfect gun for these teams.
I mean, true. I know, like, for instance, I know Unknowns hates that gun. He doesn't like using it. It's not like he thinks it's like, you know, the worst gun under the sun sometimes. So he doesn't like to use those guns. But, I mean... But like you said, it does have that sort of less recoil that kind of assists these teams in the lower end to, you know, have themselves a little bit of a better, you know, better accuracy, if you want to call it that. Against all odds, though, move off the mountain and into trying to get themselves as center as possible. And when I was doing my stream last night here, when Deathmark was actually in it, and they said that they didn't have a good Sunday, hence why they're sitting inside the Challenger Series this week. Not having the best of Sundays in the champion battle, but you know, this is where the challenger, they can kind of refine things, get that new member up to speed of what's happening in a comp setting, and allow them to maybe pop off here a little bit.
I mean, people shouldn't think of the challenger battle as bad thing. You know, we keep getting in new teams and more people joining, and at the end of the day, you know, more of like half of the teams are going to sit at the bottom. Everyone can't be in the top 16. So, I mean, the challenger battle isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yes, everyone wants to be at the top. But, I mean, changing up the team, getting new members in, maybe it's just, as you said, a good reset point for them to get their things in order, get that confidence up with some good games, and then move back into the champion battle and take it from there.
Exactly. You know, I mean, they got the new member of Archer coming in for against the odds here, and you know, it sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get members in. I mean, the whole elo system you know, supports consistency, right? If you're consistent and you're consistent in the top 8 of either lobby, you're going to be gaining elo points all the time. So, you know, consistency is the main game and where you end up on that leaderboard. It's not about, okay, cool, I killed off Inexorable Gaming in that match. No, it's where do you end in that leaderboard at the end of the day? Because you can have one great game, but if you have 4 pretty poor games, you're going to be down on the leaderboard. And, you know, the elo system promotes consistency in the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I mean, I've had some people asking me, like, do they lose elo points if they kill their team members, or like do they get 4 like kills? Like, at the end of the day, it's all about your placement on the leaderboard. You know, so get those points up. Even if you like have a bad game, just try to get every point. And Bone Slippy taking out Bullet for days here as Deathseeker tried to pull up on the combat, but obviously maybe just run away now. I'm not wanting to take that fight right now.
No, not in a great position. Oh, Rogue Wolf almost gets his head taken off there by Alpha as he crashes his truck there. But they're going to make their movement away from here at this stage. PlayersUnknown's going to take some shots over towards the members of the Goats as they take the fight on. But they're also getting backstabbed here for our extended mag as well.
And the zone shifts when, I mean, at least now this confirms that the zone won't be ending in Los Angeles. So, I mean, we won't be having another city ending, which is good. I actually really like the endings in this part of the map. Like giving the teams quite like mountains and tips and stuff to play with. So it's interesting for me to see how these teams work with that information and the terrain that they have.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is going to be quite a classic ending, but the Goat's now going to pull up over towards Bullet for Days and Rogue Wolf here. Deathseeker's trying to see what they can do. That M249 is going to take out Swifter. In the end of the day, Rogue Wolf will pick up a point here for the members of Deathseekers, and the Goats are going to try and aggress on towards the two remaining Deathseekers that are left inside this lobby here.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Goats don't know that Deathseekers are only a 2-man. But definitely, if Deathseekers get knocked now, it's gonna be pretty difficult for them to stay in this game.
But from behind, PlayersUnknown is going to take some shots over towards it, and it looks like Gasman is going to try and take out those vehicle wheels instantly here. Good stuff coming out here from PlayersUnknown, just making sure they can limit what these teams, they limit their mobility inside this next phase. That's for sure, as we see the bipolar bots make their entry in from to the south. And you know, also something I've been noticing for quite a while here, Survivor Fighters coming in very late, and I saw this even on Sunday, coming in very, very late in towards these circles here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just their playstyle, you know. I can't tell you exactly why, but I mean, they were looting up in Campo Militar, you know, so for them,
it's a far
I'd say
rotation.
that's probably the best rotation for them, you know. Even if they rotate early, they're not going to be getting those central compounds. So take the time, loot up, and then maybe see what the zone brings you. But I think like they just missed the time and only coming in now as phase 2 is actually moving in. Now taking the fight with the Warwolf quads, getting knocks on both sides. Deathor is actually taking out Shadow Warrior now. Really taking the shots onto Deathor, but not able to land many of those shots.
And it doesn't look like that Deathor's gonna know where he's going. Does know exactly where Billy is now. Can Millie do it? But if he moves just under Millie's scope here, it's gonna be very difficult. And both these teams now gonna be trying to play this. The grenade's gonna come out from Millie. He does spot him out there, but the grenade's not gonna connect on towards him. Millie needs to try and dispatch of this last Survivor Fighters member. Can he win out the duel? He does indeed on this side, and it's a good work coming out here from the Warwolf quads, and Millie will confirm on the kill there. And for the Warwolf quads, I think that's kind of a win for them. They've been kind of struggling of late, but they're going to need to get themselves inside the circle as quickly as possible, as now we see the Microtech guys now pull up towards against the odds here.
Yeah, I mean, this fight has been going on for a while now. Nano actually getting 2 knocks here, doing a real good job for his team. Dan Bozerian is actually going to bleed out. DJ Epic got knocked on top of the mountain, but Nano playing so well, keeping the against all odds occupied while they got the revive off, and now grouping up, making this a 3v3. Salty Monkey getting the knock onto Nano through the tiniest of angles. As Ushka would eliminate Frenchie there. DJ Epic's getting the knock onto Deathmog there, throwing the molly in to secure that kill onto Deathmog. DJ Epix, is he going to go for the revive?
Is he going to be able to? That's the question. He'll get Ocha as well. And DJ Epix is just proving he's a force to be reckoned with. That quick little molly into there, that's some quick thinking there coming out from DJ Epix. Some really smart play coming out from him. And he's got to now deal with the last member of Against All Odds, Slothy Monkey, making this engagement. He was on top of the roof now. Now he has to make his way, as we hear a lot of fighting coming in from the south. Looks like Slothy Monkey is going to pull away from this one for now and survive a little bit longer for Against All Odds. Not going their way here against Microtech at the moment. We got, like I heard, a couple shots coming in from the south, and that zone pulls over to the west. There's still quite a bit of water inside the circle as well. But yeah, this match is not over yet, that's for sure.
Unfortunately, seems like Rambo is disconnected there because Brothers in Arms sitting in a real good position. I'm pretty sure the next zone is going to center up around where Brothers in Arms are currently. And now losing a player there, not what they would have wanted in this kind of zone.
Yeah, Ramkat going to take some shots over towards Raven here as he pulls back just a little bit as well. Just going to get himself back in towards the hard cover that they've got available towards them. And we'll see here from Mingo. Can he hit those headshot? Got it. He's just on top of the hill. Does hit those shots quite nicely there from Mingo. And Raven will get the knock on towards Godamillies. Ramkat though can get those shots off as Slothy Monkey now trying to get some work done over towards the Friendly Fire guys. As now we see Pedro getting eliminated at the top there, and DJ Epics and the Macrotech guys are going to take on the fight towards Bish inside the zone here, and this is going to start burning in phase 4 fairly shortly here.
Ooh. I think the best for them would be just to get some more points here. I mean, DJ Epics getting knocked inside of that container, leaving this as a 3v1. Frenchie needing to heal up. Frenchie has been knocked before. Just not really wanting to take this fight, maybe.
Zandog does spot out Frenchie, trying to make that cross across. He does do some good tags over here, but there needs to try and push on towards this. Can they maybe just get this trade off? Yeah, Frenchie's going to try and get it, but Frenchie will get that. And we pull away from this fight. Unfortunately, I'll get back towards Frenchie now, as there will be knocked out here, and it's going to be so tough as phase 4 pulls back in towards it. But these two teams wasting a lot of time here, and Zandog just may just get that medal just in time. Left still sitting on here, but Zandog will finish out Frenchie. Microtech will get eliminated out in 16th position, and a lot of fights happening all across the map here. Team Werewolf Quads will get eliminated out in 15th position, as Survivor Fighters Genesis get eliminated out in 14th. 3 teams falling in quick succession here, Viking, and another 4th. So many teams falling. Insane.
I mean, and Team Bish might just be the next. I don't know if they have the necessary mates to make it all the way to the zone. I mean, by the time they reach the zone, I mean, the zone's going to move in 8 seconds as well. Without a vehicle, I mean, Coconut just got knocked in by the zone. And Zandog just, I mean, leaving with 1 med kit and 3 first aids. Without a vehicle, it's impossible to get to the zone.
Yeah, this is going to be sorry for Bish though. Bish did pick up the 2 kills here, so they're not going to get any placement points at this stage. It's going to be difficult here for Zandog to get himself in towards the zone. I don't see him doing it as phase 4 starts its shrink, and everyone's going to start going on as team diversity, going to spot out the goats in towards the north here. And this fight between the goats and Death Seekers hasn't materialized here, but the goats have lost a member here.
Yeah, I mean, Death Seekers have just been sitting in this compound. I think throughout here, the Rasi Genesis have actually pushed onto the goats, taken out a member of the goats, and while all of that was happening, Death Seekers were just sitting and waiting. As you can see now, like, the goats actually still taking the fight onto Android from Team Diversity behind them. I mean, Death Seekers just playing this slow, maybe waiting for teams to die out before they take this fight.
Yeah, it looks like it is going to have. Tunisian Risers do a bit of damage over towards Brothers in Arms, as now MPS pulls back towards Rambo, who's reconnected to the server, it seems, which is good for them. But only 2 members left at this stage. 5 Friendly Fire coming in down from the south here. And Bipolar Bots has been doing a lot of work coming into this zone here. A lot of shooting between different teams. Only got the 1 kill to show for it at this stage, but they've got the Smurfs in their sightlines. Does know Godamilli's playing on top of the area. If Tunisian Rises does move a little bit more forward, we'll spot out Godamilli's. I think Godamilli's heard the shots coming out from this side of the mountain, so pulls back wisely. And here come Team Diversity, as Slothy Monkey does eliminate Zandog. Does not make it into the zone, but he got far away. But Android spots him out, and against the odds will get eliminated out in 11th position here, And Team Diversity will pick up their first kill for the game. Will they spot out Tunisian Rises in front of them? And they've also got the Bipolar Bots, which make a rotation just behind them. This is good work from the Bipolar Bots here.
Yeah, this is really smart. If they, I don't know if Android. I think Android might have heard some steps, and with that nade coming in now, and it's a really good nade there from God of Millies. I think just gonna and another good nade from Mr. Lab. This is a really good push coming out of Bipolar Bots here, eliminating Android there. I mean, this gives him a really good entry point into the zone. They're just gonna have to face off with Beerus up on the mountain. Maybe Tunisian Riders shooting them from the side, but this push there really like giving them a good potential. And then Ramkat actually taking out Beerus up top there. This gives them a real good entry feed into the next zone. They can come up to the mountain and like have a pretty good game still.
Yeah, definitely. As his circle shifts over towards the north, still Death Seekers and the Goats will hang out inside their compound. And as you stated, they've got to just be careful of Tunisian Rises here. Does the Bipolar Bots as they make their way up this mountain. One of them does get knocked there, Mr. Lab, getting raised up there by Ramkat. And now the Tunisian Rises in a good spot here. They can gate a couple teams coming in here. But for Brothers in Arms, it's looking a little bit dicey. We've got Rambo left alive here. Has been spotted out by Survivor Fighters as they're making their way in. But he's got to now make his movement a little bit forward here into extended mag. And options, I mean, what's nice about Miramar is there's a lot of dips and a lot of crevices for him to play in.
Yeah, I mean, earlier when I was talking about the zone shifting up north, Brothers in Arms were sitting in the compound that extended mag are currently holding. You know, if they just played it a little bit slower and just waited, they could have had the center compound right now, but instead they tried pushing Tunisian Risers and just ended up losing their members and dying out. And now they're sitting in a pretty bad situation with Rainbow being a solo alone. I mean, they could have had such a good game.
Yeah, it's sometimes you need key patience to come out in certain moments inside the game here. As we saw, Asset Vivent will get knocked out there, and Kinghorn's going to make his way up the mountain area here, and he's going to be facing up to Rambo. He doesn't spot him to his right hand side yet. Isn't looking over there. We're going to go into his perspective. Hasn't. Will he spot out Rambo first, or will Rambo hear the footsteps first? No, Kinghorn has spotted out Rambo. Rambo is not aware of this. Shots coming raining out here. Kinghorn missing out his shots there. And Rambo gonna maybe, but oh, Survivor Fighters will come from behind and will eliminate Brothers in Arms out in 8th position. Mitch Main gets knocked out there from Survivor Fighters as well. He's gonna bleed. Look at the bleed that's coming out from him. That's not looking good for him, and he will be bled out. And for extended mag will be put down, but they got center circle here, Viking.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting in a really good spot. I mean, this could be them taking another chicken dinner. You know, if they just play this out correctly, having the teams fight around them and just come out and finish off the last team, I mean, they're in the position to do so.
Cans
Sorry
looking,
about that.
no problem. Got the goats. You did, I think, spot out the goats there, making the movement, but they got to be careful of Bipolar Bots making this rotation in towards the area here. Smurfs do get found out and get eliminated out in 7th position. The goats going to hold out this area for now, and Bipolar Bots have made entry in towards this, but are they aware of the goats also making this area in this area as well? Do they spot him out? No, they don't. Mr. Lab spots him out first. HS Pro going to try and see if he can win out that duel. Mr. Lab taking a lot of shots over towards them, but he's taking shots from far away. Survivor Fighters trying to play little peekaboo shots here on towards Mr. Lab. And these two teams, it's going to be interesting to see what these three teams do here now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bipolar Bot sitting in the base position out of the 3. There's no one on the mountains behind them, so they can just take their time and wait for these teams to push out towards them. As I say, that God of Melee is almost getting knocked there by 11s from the goats. I mean, Bipolar Bots can do this. It's just about whether they take on the fight like together or if they're gonna spread. God of Melee is taking out cans now. Mr. Lab trying to shoot onto the goats, but getting knocked out by H Pro Ace. I mean, I think the team was just a bit split there. Rogue Wolf coming in from behind now. Trying to sneak up behind Ramkat. As God of Melee actually gets knocked now.
from Tunisian Rises. Rumcut going to bail out of this situation. He's not in the best of positions. Going to try and cut off the goats here, but not much space to play for him. Diablo looks like he's got this side of the circle all sorted out here. Does he spot out Rogue Wolf coming out from the one side there? Rogue Wolf out in the open. They're going to just now focus on as the goats make that reverse their vehicle across the way. Rogue Wolf going to take some shots over towards Diablo. Diablo now will know exactly where he is. Rumcuck also going to take some shots over towards Rogue Wolf as well, but I think Diablo is going to have a good angle on towards Rogue Wolf, and Rogue Wolf will get eliminated out as Deathseeker's in 6th position. Rumcut gets taken out by H Pro S, and the Bipolar Bots finish out in 5th position, and our top 4 is available for us to see. Tunisian Rises with 3 members, Extended Mag with 3 members, the Goats and Survivor Fighters come up with 2 members, and that circle shifts over to the west.
Yeah, I mean, this is the terrain that I said that I liked, you know. I think the only team that's going to struggle here is probably going to be Survivor Fighters, because they're going to have to move from the high ground probably into the shack here. I think the team that I favor here the most, just based on where they are currently positioned in the zone, must be Tunisian Risers.
Yeah, they definitely have a good entry point. They've got a lot of these dips and stuff to give themselves cover as they push a little bit closer into the circle. Extended Mag need to make a plan to try and maybe win out these Angels, maybe eliminate the Goats here to get themselves out here, because if they remain in here too long though, Viking, they're going to get surrounded and there's going to be no place for them to move out of this compound.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yes, you don't want to get knocked, but you still need to gather that information around you, know where the people are, so that you can make that end play. I mean, they spot out A-Mine there from Survivor Fighters leaving. Survivor Fighters only with 1 player left. I mean, I think Extended Mag is still pretty in a good position, clearing Survivor Fighters behind them. There's no one else that can really punish them for sitting in the compound right now.
Yeah, until, I mean, Tunisian Risers knows that Extended Mag must be here. I mean, they would have heard the shots coming out from here. I think Tunisian Risers are quite focused on eliminating the Goats first, though. I mean, they are just busy. Crusher just trying to see if he can spot out somebody of the Goats. They do know where the Goats rotated there in the back end. And it's now going to just be who's going to take on the fight first here, because this is going to be interesting here, as the last member of Survivor Fighters trying to get themselves in here. Got the 5 kills. Is looking like a good game. The late rotation's working out for them here, and he can just maybe sneak into this compound here, and this is good here for Survivor Fighters.
I mean, it just keeps them in the game a little longer, you know. Maybe one of the other teams start fighting and they get another placement point. At the end of the day, every point will help you climb that leaderboard.
And we've seen, like, in this Challenger series especially here, we've seen how close these points at the end is. So, I mean, they are so close compared to what we've seen in past. We've seen them come in with the top, like, the top 8 almost coming in with a couple points of each other, you know. So this is good to see, because, you know, this is what you want to see, is that Orm gets dished out there from 11s as he now gets spotted out there by Survivor Fighters. Does just get in towards cover, but if Survivor Fighters makes this movement, yeah, can definitely do something. Does he spot out, go towards 11? Now he's going to expose himself over towards Extended Mag here. Patrick Brew gonna be taking the shots, and Event will eventually finish off Survivor Fighters out in 4th position, and it'll leave our top 3 alive here. And for the man advantage going towards Extended Mag and Tunisian Risers, the Goats, I mean, they've got some space to play here, Viking.
I mean, if they come and play this ridge here on the left, the only team that they would need to focus on would be Extended Mag. So, I mean, they definitely still have a good position to play. It depends on what Extended Mag does now. I think Extended Mag is now getting to that point where they need to start moving out. They can't just sit in the compound and wait for the other teams to do stuff, because that's where they're going to get stuck. They need to move out now. And like, as I said, that Tunisian Riders actually take out the Goats, and this leaves it to a 3v3, and Extended Mag need to push out of the buildings now and get position on Tunisian Riders. Otherwise, Tunisian Riders are just going to take the mountain and control them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Tunisian Risers are trying to do. I mean, the way that Tunisian Rise is set up here, Extended Mag won't know that there's no one to the north of them. But they're still inside this building. They need to make them. They should have made the movement already. And now Tunisian Rises are overlooking the members of Extended Mag. And this now comes to aim battles. This is who can get the knocks first. That's the question, right?
Yeah. I mean, it depends. If the zone is probably going to center up here right next to Tunisian Riders. So Tunisian Riders have the advantage here. They can just sit up on the mountain and wait.
Kipu gonna see what he can do here. He's gonna move into a different area here, but Tunisian Riders is trying to set up for this. You can see they're just trying to work things out here. Diablo gets kicking a couple shots over towards him. He's now going to peek onto the one side. Can he get on head quicker? He can't. Kipu will get the one member. Patrick Brew will get knocked out there by Diablo. And he'll just leave Vent left alive here. What can he do against the three men of Tunisian Risers? Will take the shots through the tarpaulin there. And he's going to be literally on the edge of here. Look at how that zone burns. He's not going to win it out. Tunisian Risers will take out a chicken dinner with 9 kills. Great work there at the end there from Tunisian Risers.
Yeah, Tunisian Riders played that terrain like really well. They spread out. They took control of their side. They made sure all the solos on their back end was dying out. And then at the end of the day, they just took control of that mountain and basically held Extended Mag in position. But then again, I mean, Extended Mag sitting in that compound for way too long. You know, when they heard the shots getting fired from two teams, I mean, they should have known where both of these teams are. They could have moved out and prepared themselves for this scenario. And, I mean, just sitting in the compound just backfired on them.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out there for them in the end of the day. But, you know, you live and you learn. That's the thing. So Extended Mag may pay that differently in the future, but they will finish out in second with 5 kills. Rounding up the top 3 was the Goats, finishing out with a total of 5 kills. In 4th position was Survivor Fighters, coming in with a total of 5 kills as well. And Bipolar Bots finishing off with 4 kills, again in the top 5, and their return is looking pretty good here, Viking.
Yeah, I mean, them playing as a 3-man this game, I think that kind of stopped them quite a bit. I think they could have done much more in this game. But really well done from them to get into the top 5 placement and to get those skills that they did.
100%. We're going to move on to a short break, ladies and gents. We'll be back very shortly with the next game on Erangel. So stay tuned. We'll be back now. And welcome back to match number 3 of the evening. As we got about 30 seconds left, we move on to the grassy lands of Erangel. And things are going to change up here, Mr. Viking. What do you expect coming into Erangel?
I don't know, dude. I mean, these teams have been surprising me. I think that the biggest issue was me watching PGIS for a while now and then expecting it to be the same tonight, which isn't a valid equation. Well, I can't get the words now. I can't equal the two. But I mean, the teams have been surprising me. It's interesting to see how all of these new teams do fare against one another. So I mean, we've been having some fun games. We'll see how this one turns out.
100%, as I see some people are waiting on our admin because some people have some questions there for Mr. Viking there. As you guys know, we are the 2 admins for PUBG Africa at the moment, so we're both busy doing some casting it over here. So just give us a couple seconds there. I see in chat some of the guys are just busy waiting for some questions and stuff. You can ask in chat as well. The community will let you help you out of there as well. I don't know if Viking will just jump over there quickly and just help him out there quickly. I'm not too sure, but we'll wait and see. But anyway, everyone jumping out out of the plane here. Brothers in Arms going to be moving over to Razak, knowing that White Rabbit Gaming's not there. They're going to take it because it's free compound for them. They just need to deal with Against All Odds, which is to their left-hand side, the western side. But Dan will pick up the Esports vehicle. That'll be free for them at this stage. And Against All Odds will get themselves a nice little vehicle there. There's not much vehicles inside the Watertown and Ruins areas. It's got those 2 esports vehicles there, and a couple teams still flying in here. Not entirely. I think Viking has moved over quickly just to help out that new member quickly. But Lipovka, you're going to be having with Tunisian Risers, going to be heading over into Lipovka, and the Rusty Genesis just above that as well. No, just one team in Pachinki. I mean, this is, I guess, nice to see in some ways because we've had so many fights here and hot drops coming out inside Pachinki. But Team Diversity will be heading over towards Pachinki. We got Team Blow World going to be heading over towards here. Kind of old Tricksters team merging over here from Algeria. Good to see these members coming back in towards the scene for PUBG Africa. Really good to have them here, back at it again. And as I want to just have a look here at the scores quickly while we just wait on this one. We got Extended Mag in first position at this stage with 27 points. Tunisian Risers will be in second position with 21 after that game that they just won. Team Diversity in third position with 20, alongside with Goats with 20 points in fourth position, and rounding up your top 5. Bipolar Bots Gaming, a good return from them into the scene there, with in fifth position with 16 points as well. Teams that I think will be looking to have a better game here will be probably Brothers in Arms. I mean, they need a good game underneath them. This seemed to be, coming. They went into the champion battle for the first time on Sunday. Had a little bit of struggles here and there. They said they could have done things a little bit better, maybe trying to show themselves up a little bit more coming into the Challenger series. And obviously with the ELO being a little bit less, and a lot of these new teams obviously also get, their base ELO starts at 1,500 ELO, and when they play their first game it kind of all evens out itself in the end of the day. But for Brothers in Arms, I'm sure going to be looking to make an impression coming forward for the remaining 2 games. Survivor Fighters going to be heading over towards, coming in from the quarry side, as I hear Mr. Viking is back in the lobby.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. And Bish going to be taking their normal loot spot here, and I love to see Bish here. Main reasons, I just love Sandog and that that vehicle calamities that happened with Don and Narco there. And there's our
Yeah,
main
I
man,
mean-
Zandog.
Hopefully that never happens again. Not nice of you to bring that up, you know. But
We have to dig a little bit into NX sometimes, you know, because things haven't gone your way since then, really, actually. So, how are things with Inexorable Gaming at the moment? I'm gonna throw you in the deep end here, Viking. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to hear.
I mean, it's been difficult lately. I don't know. We've just lost that momentum that we've been building up. I think everyone starting to focus more on their jobs and stuff that they had to do. You know, we don't really get that much practice time and stuff in. But nonetheless, I don't think that's the biggest issue. I think it's just a lack of focus, maybe sometimes. But I mean, we'll get back to where we need to be.
100% think you guys will get back to where you guys were. 100%. I mean, the team of your caliber is definitely not going to be in a slump for a very long time. But I mean, I think also the level of competition is also rising up as well inside these champion battles as well, which is also good to see, because it gives yourselves and XVG and White Rabbit Gaming, you know, that, you know, it makes it very interesting for you guys to be playing inside these champion battles as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, and that's what makes it fun. Wow. Okay, that was quite a spam there from Slothy Monkey. I mean, that's what we're talking about, you know, people that are capable of doing stuff like that.
Exactly. That just proves our point here. You know, these teams are starting to raise the game here, and I'm actually absolutely loving it. I mean, casting both of these battles here, it's you get to spot out, you know, these guys have got some good skill, and you know, the skill level every single week seems to be rising and rising and rising.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and that's what we are here for, you know. We are here to give the teams the opportunity to play and to improve every week. As Slothy Monkey now gets both of the Friendly Fire members. I mean, just unfortunate there from Friendly Fire's side there that Slothy Monkey got that initial knock.
Yeah, 100%, as we see them both now out of the lobby here, and they're gonna now be flushed out there by Slothy Monkey, as against the odds the rest of the members come on to, as we like to call this, Death Road type of style here. We got no NX inside this lobby, so and against the odds is playing this well, because they're playing the terrain that they know they can play here without these other teams being in. Obviously they've been playing predominantly in the champion battle, and I like to see that against the odds is noticing that, you know, for the likes of NX, coming back to you guys again, you guys generally do like to rotate on towards this little road here and hold it for a certain amount of time. And for against odds making this rotation here, I think is good awareness of who they're playing against.
Yeah, 100%. But to another factor, I mean, just looking at the previous games as well, it seems like against the odds just are trying to get that center compound. Like, and that's their priority. You know, they do early rotations and they go scout, and they just want that center compound. And that's what led them to this position. So, I mean, I really like their split currently. But, I mean, we'll see how that turns out for them. The Smurfs actually taking the fight now here with Blowwall. This asset gets taken out from Team Diversity all the way from Puchinki, helping out Team Blowwall here.
Yeah, and more shots coming out there from Android onto Colapelli as he tries to get a little bit with such a good angle here from the Team Diversity members to really get themselves here. But look at this now, Kingon's going to wrap around below, and so is Blowworld as well. And now they're going to meet up with him. Mingo going to take some shots over towards him. Kingon going to get the knock on towards Mingo as the fight now breaks up towards him. Can he get Mr. Robot as well? He can't! And Mr. Robot will flush out Kingon as well, as now just left Ovi left alive here. Oh no, Falcon's still left alive here as he's still on top of the mountain there, as the Smurfs get a little bit decimated there, trying to take on a four-man team with just the two members down at the bottom here. Not working out, but Team Diversity, hearing the shots happening here, they're going to come and get a advantage in third party this fight here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good play coming out of Team Diversity here. Even though they are a three-man, they've been watching the skill feed and just coming up. Oh, sorry, I do apologize. They've been a 3-man in the earlier games, but they're up to a 4-man now. I mean, yeah, so really aggressive players coming out of Team Diversity, really showing that they are a team that has what it takes to go up to the top of the leaderboard.
Yep.
Blowworld has no idea about this. I mean, okay, there the nade comes out, so they're going to be noticed about this push coming out. But Team Diversity really spreading out wide, getting Raven down there. They're not going to be able to get the trade there, so Team Diversity up 3 members. Now actually losing it, and they're spinning on a 2v2 right now.
Yeah, this is great turnaround here from Blowworld, as now they're trying to take on the Android will go down as well, just leaving the last member here for Team Diversity as he tries to take out the member of Kolopili, but he does not able to. Mingo will win out the fight, and Team Diversity will get eliminated out in 16th position. Blowworld doing a fantastic job there, but look at the distance shots coming out from Survivor Fighters as well on towards these members here as well.
I mean, I thought that fight was going the completely different direction. I mean, Team Diversity pushed up and they got the first 2 initial knocks. And then from there, it just went completely south as Kokopelli and Mingo just 2v4 their way out of this completely.
And great positioning there from them as well, using the buildings to their advantage and everything like that as well. But you can see a little bit of a drop by coming out here from Micro Esports as well. As I get that one away from them, can they continue on the reload? You can see a lot of shots getting rained out towards them. More drive-by shots coming out here as Nano tries to get his way in towards the zone. Brothers in Arms going to be taken out there by Ocha as Slayer gets knocked out of his vehicle there. Rambo trying to get him, but Ocha will get him as well. And with that suppressed M4, it's just working out here for against all odds. Nano trying to make the movement in here. I think Deathmark may have picked up, or Salty Monkey will have picked up a couple kills there on towards the Microtech members. No, they continue on their rotation. DJ Apex and Nano are going to continue. And people are using the drive-by, and even Friendly Fire coming up with the drive-bys as well.
I mean, the mechanic has been made so easy, you know. I mean, even in PGIS, everyone's talking about the drive-by meta. MPS now crashing onto this building. I'm not quite too sure why. I think Slayer might have called the safe race there. MPS just not knowing that Deathmark is here waiting for him in this building.
That's really unfortunate here for Brothers in Arms, just leaving Gasman left alive here. For Brothers in Arms, said earlier while you were away there, just Brothers in Arms need a game in the hand now. They need to kind of perform to get themselves kind of like out of their little bit of a slump that we've seen them in now at the moment. And it's just not, you know, when it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you, you know? PUBG is just that cruel mistress.
I mean, I think they're just struggling to get into position, but they just keep sending it every time. I don't see them doing enough scouting, and they just send it and get slaughtered on rotations or in the compound, which they crash. I mean, even MPS there, he could have just played with Gasman now, but even just going to crash there on a compound where there was already a player in. I mean, and now Brothers in Arms being a solo.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough work there. Griffin gets knocked out by Falcon in the background. Excuse me. And so does Shadow Warrior, as now Falcon will confirm his kill, and Vent will get on towards Bad Girl as Extended Mag look to try and finish out the Team Wolf quads. But I think from behind, Mitchman's going to come out here. He'll knock out Millie, leaving just Shadow Warrior left alive here. 14 Wolf quads behind. Can Mitchman finish this one out? Does he spot him out? He does indeed. He'll take the shots, and Team Wolf quads will get eliminated out in 15th position. Great little flank position here from Mitchman.
Yeah, I mean, they just wrapped all the way around Werewolf Gods, and Falcon just providing that extra thorn in Werewolf Gods' side.
Yeah, look at
doing some great work to survive here.
Yeah, and look at the angle he had from here. He is hitting a dead body at the moment, but you know, great little angle there coming up from Falcon, and he picked himself up a kill there, which is great. And this little split here from Against the Odds, I'm kind of liking it. This is something new from them as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said they tend to just rotate early and try to get that center position. I mean, definitely in the Challenger battle, it's something that could work for them. So I'm curious to see how they would change it up if they do make it back into the Champion battle. But they really well played from them, you know. changing up their gameplay to fit into the lobby.
Dan without a red dot on his M4 for now, but Falcon going to make this rotation in towards the circle here and gets himself in towards a shack. Deathseeker still in it. We've also got the Microtech guys just on the new ferry that's sitting just below this side of the map. And now more shots going to be rained out towards extended mag from Against the Odds. And Against the Odds got a lot of map control here, so they can pretty much take on any sort of fight here from different angles and like kind of just push teams out of their area in essence.
Yeah, I mean, Extended Mag actually doing a really good rotation here, scouting this compound from the top of the mountain, seeing that it's clear. I mean, this is a pretty prominent compound in the zone. I mean, the next zone is going to shift up to the north. It can either go to Against the Odds side or it's going to go to the farm side. But either way, Extended Mag will be sitting in a really good position here.
Yeah, indeed there will be, as Survivor Fighters try and get landfall on towards Deathseekers here with the 2 members left alive here, as now Bisso will get eliminated out of the lobby as the members of Microtech come up on towards these new hills over here. Not so new anymore, but Coconut Warrior will take a couple shots, and that's from a different angle entirely, from almost the opposite side. That's quite a fast shot coming over towards Nano. But now the Deathseekers need to try and hold out this fight against the members of Survivor Fighters. Rogue Wolf looking to see where they can kind of play here. I think there's only the 1 member left here for Survivor Fighters. And Deathseekers won't know about this yet, but this is going to be another one of those standoffish battles here, Viking.
I mean, that depends on if Deathseekers were actually watching their kill feed. You know, they were watching and saw the 3 members of the Survivor Fighters die out. Then I don't see why they can't just push and clear him out. I think they're playing a bit too slow here.
Yeah, as now Rogue Wolf will get knocked out there. Deathbug will get the confirm on towards Mingo there, as now it just left with Colapelli left alive here for Blowworld, sorry. And he's stuck in a kind of a tough position. Zone's going to start closing in 40 seconds, and he's going to have to try and make his will, as Rogue Wolf will actually get and eliminate out Survivor Fighters in 14th position. And this is good work coming out here from Deathseekers there, and this is just tough work here for Colapelli, as Sloppy Monkey going to take the shots as he's climbed over towards this radio tower. Yeah, he's got some good vision over there as well.
Yeah, I mean, Colapelli is stuck in a bad scenario here, when even if he does make it over the next ridge, he's going to have to run in the open towards farm. And right now, Slothy Monkey being up on the tower, I don't see a way where Colapelli actually makes it into that field.
He's going to have to play that St. Gasman. We'll find out the solo of Smurfs. So solo v solo. Gasman wins that one out, and he will eliminate the Smurfs out in 13th position there. And Colapelli, like we said, it's going to be such a tough little rotation coming in. He's going to throw out the smokes, but he's still getting some shots over towards him from Against the Odds. And those smoke, you're going to have to make this movement fairly quickly, because things are going to get a little bit dicey. Diablo spots out Diavolt, trying to make his rotation in from the eastern side of the map. And just can't fit through there. Brothers in Arms get spotted out by Microtech as Gasman gets eliminated. And they will be out in 12th position. And Diablo's got a good read on where Diavolt is at this stage. Doesn't look like he's going to take much more fights over towards him. And
yeah, he's just trying to get a different angle on him now.
Yeah.
And Diavolt actually making the run now while they aren't looking. I mean, depending on whether they see him run there or not, this might be a really good off angle that Diavolt is creating for his team. Could
be a good off angle. Born Slippy gets knocked out in the background there, and he's going to continue on his rotation all the way around here. And I don't think Tunisian Rises has spotted him out here. No, they indeed have. Diablo spots out him. Colapelli does get eliminated out in 11th position there for Blowwold. Unfortunate for them, but like we said, it was going to be difficult for him to get inside of this area of the circle.
Yeah, I mean, Bipolar Boss actually needing to push on to Rusty Genesis right now, as the Goats actually knocking Mr. Lab from behind. Alpha are getting the knock onto God of News out of the V guys. Ramcode is left alone as a solo, having to fight Dr. Genesis now, getting the knock onto Alpha R, and just needing to turn around. He doesn't see the two people behind him.
Oh, and Trident gonna be able to eliminate the bipolar bots out in 10th position. Bullet for Days will get knocked out by the zone, but the Goats now gonna make moving up here. And if he can spot out this one, he might do indeed. He's going to take the shots on towards the head there. He will get the confirm, and they'll just leave Devil left alive here. We'll pick up both kills there, stealing that away from bipolar bots. And the Goat's up to 4 kills at this stage. Very separated from his team, but this little flank position paying off. And like you said, this might go to farm, and it's going farm here, this circle.
Yeah, I mean, we usually say these zones ending up in between where extended mag are and between them and farm, you know, so it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. I mean, Against All Odds actually going to crash the Harry Potter here now, so I mean, even with them in the mix, it's going to be a really interesting late game fight here.
Yeah, Extended Mag got a good sightlines on towards this little compound here of the Harry Potter. So, you know, they're going to be careful here. They haven't parked their vehicles, I'm sure, where they wanted to. And you can see instantly Patrick Brew going to take on some shots and it'll take out that tire. Death Seekers gets eliminated out in 8th position there. They'll pick up the 1 placement point. And still now we see Bish and Friendly Fire again. 2 teams that are also kind of mates with each other as well, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. So these 2 teams are like in the same friends group. I think they usually play together and play mixed, but now for the sake of the battles, I think they have 2 EU players in their friends group, and now splitting them into 1 each team to comply with our rules. But yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting fight that they'll probably be talking about afterwards.
Yeah, Coconut Warrior not able to get those. She's wasted kind of 3 grenades there, not able to get them inside that window. Really unfortunate for him there. But here come the Goats behind. 11s is going to make this push up towards them, but they are aware of this. Is Coconut Warrior. He's picked up a lot of nades. He's picked up 4 nades that he's just thrown. He's going to have so much space now inside his backpack. As 11's just busy loads up there. They will spot out the 1 member, take some damage on towards him. As Ugly Monkey going to take some shots on towards them. And they're trying to hold this position here onto HK Pro. But Friendly Fire kind of helping out Bish here. 11's will get the knock on towards the left. And they're going to play around the smoke on the opposite side here. They're going to push up from the opposite side, but he needs to be careful from behind. Can he get the knock on towards Coconut Warrior? He can't, as there comes into it. There will get the knock on. There will get taken up by Ugly Monkey inside the compound, just leaving Coconut Warrior left to fight against H Pro S.
John, the Goats actually driving themselves over on the right hand side here. Interesting 2 to split that they're doing here, not really helping each other to clear out this fight. DJ Epics might have sightlines here from all the way on the left of the map, trying to get some more information, but just not moving far enough to get those angles.
Yeah, he might just spot someone, and Slothy Monkey takes a couple shots on towards DJ Epics, and that's coming up from the side. Is Against the Odds do move up on top of this hill here. They do need to get themselves inside the circle here. And for Tunisian Rise has got a good compound. Extended Mag's got a good compound. Friendly Fire can play out of this one as well. But here comes the push from the Goats. And it looks like they're going to crash on towards this building as well. Mitch Main will get a knock on towards Dan in the background. And this grenade's going to come out here towards him. Does he spot a Coconut Warrior? His teammate should have, but Tunisian Rise is now going to come into the fray here and take a couple shots on towards the Goats. And left will be the last member standing here for Bish as now 11's pushes up. And Bish will get eliminated out. But instantly Ugly Monkey will punish that aggressiveness from 11's. And the 2 members of Friendly Fire are doing a good job here, sticking inside the building here, Viking.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting shots from everywhere right now. I mean, this fight between the Goats and Friendly Fire might even give
Microtech.
Microtech Esports the opportunity to move into the zone yet, because the two teams will be so focused on one another. I mean, yeah, they're just gonna probably sit here. I don't think the goats will really try to initiate the fight here because it's not really needed. The zone will probably shift away from this.
It will probably shift away, but it looks like they're going to take on. They're going to take out the bottom of the door here, as we see them going for this one. H Pro S just going to hold off for a couple seconds here. Are they going to try and initiate this fight? Like you said, probably not going to do this. So I think Monkey's going to burn himself with a Molotov there, which is a bit odd there. Vent, but look at this. Microtech have made it in towards the compound here. And this fight on the top north against all odds is now Extended Mag actually win out that fight there. But we're going to go back to this fight here. Microtech trying to do something here against the Goats and Friendly Fire. Need to get themselves covered from the two members of Friendly Fire. H Pro S peaks up just in time. GJ Epix goes down to the belly. Needs to try and heal this one up. The blue zone is shifting here, and this is an interesting little 2v2v2 here, Viking.
I mean, like I said, because the Goats and Friendly Fire were focusing so much on one another, it gave Microtech the opportunity to push here. But now, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to which teams start fighting first. At the moment, Microtech and Goats are fighting one another, while Friendly Fire are just sitting, waiting to see how this plays out, which I think Friendly Fire is doing a pretty good job, just like gathering the information.
Yeah, Nano is sitting on top of the little ridge line on the end here. Extended Mag now need to make their movement. Tunisian Rise is also trying to claim some bit of the circle here. But for these three teams at the bottom, oh, this is going to either end really badly for all three of these teams, because they're going to need to get themselves inside the circle here. And crossing that road there is not going to be easy with Tunisian Rises at this stage.
Yeah, I don't think I see any of none of the Extended Mag players are really focusing here right now. I think they still need, like, maybe they're still waiting for the fight to break loose. But currently they're more focused on Tunisian Risers, and you know, if these three teams at the bottom die, we will have our rematch from the previous game, Tunisian Risers versus Extended Mag.
This is true, and we've seen like these teams play out as now Nano will get a knock on towards H Pro S here, and the shots come out. DJ Epics will get knocked out there from Ugly Bunky. Great work coming out there from them. Friendly Fire trying to do that, but he gets a shot off, but then Vent will come to the side and Nano will get eliminated. Microtech Esports will get eliminated there. HK Pro S is almost bleeding out there quite fast. Lol Swede is gonna now have to try and make his move, but it looks like they get eliminated out in 4th position. As now the Goats try and make this cross, and like we said, crossing this road, it's gonna be death. And now we have the rematch from the 2nd round. Tunisian Rises versus Extended Mag. Ding, ding, ding. Here we go, Viking. Who do you think's gonna win this one out?
I mean, just look at that positioning coming out of TNG. You know, I mean, we didn't really see people playing up here, but I think it might just work in Tunisian Risers' favor here, providing that extra bit of angles.
Yeah, this is a good angle for him, and he's got that 8 times on the mini. Looks like he's gonna bail off of this at the moment as Kipu gets knocked out there from Vent. And Extended Mag have done well. They've taken out against the odds. They're on 9 kills. They've had a good game. This is definitely a team that's looking to get themselves into the challenger battle, and there's a very worthy team. The champion battle. And Mitch Main again with the flank here, and this could surprise Tunisian Risers if they don't spot it out. He needs to spot TNG first, though.
And the zone, I mean, you can't get a more fair zone than this, you know, centering basically just between the two teams. So, I mean, these teams at the end of the day will just come out to fragging power, whereas TNG actually does get the knock and flush onto Vent there from up on the tower. I mean, that angle really paying off for him already.
If he gets knocked over here from Mitch Main, it could be the end here for Tunisian Rises. TNG just gets into some sort of cover here, but the rest of his team's going to have to try and make it. But Crusher will find out Mitch Main here. And TNG does try and move down the hill here. Patrick Brew and Head Quicker have spotted them trying to get himself down that tower. Indeed he does. That tower is out at the moment, so he's going to have to make his way in some point. But for Extended Mag here, 1 player less, they're going to have to win these aim battles here for them to give them any sort of hope. But, you know, PUBG, things change within a second.
Yeah, Mishmain being quite stuck here. He needs to move now if he wants to get into the zone, because his reach of coming back into the zone is closing out now as Diablo gets a knock onto Patek, leaving this in a 2v4 scenario. Tunisian Risers actually going out pushing aggro on this, trying to kill out Mishmain now, which they do. I mean, they're just taking control of this fight once again. Extended Mag just not getting into those positions to keep Tunisian Risers at bay.
This could be such a good grenade. It is a great grenade onto Head Quicker. It's a great grenade there. Patrick Brew is going to be the last person left alive here for the Extended Mag team. Does he try and deny the point or not? Or is he going to try and take on the fight? He can't. Kipu will finish it out in the end of the day. 6 kills. Tunisian Risers. Second game in a row. We'll take that chicken dinner with 6 kills. I mean, great play there again from the Tunisian Risers, Viking. I mean, they kept their advantage. They pushed when they needed to. Great play from them.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, once again, I mean, looking at that zone, the zone was either going to go towards against all odds or towards farm. You know, so when the zone did hit over towards farm, I think Tunisian Risers were quite happy. But, I mean, they weren't just sitting in the compound doing nothing. They were gatekeeping all the teams from the north, like Rusty Genesis, from entering that compound. I mean, when Devil made it into that warehouse, they grouped up as a full foreman and made sure that he doesn't survive. So really clearing their angles and taking control of the zone once again.
Yeah, definitely. Great play coming out from them. In second place, as we saw, was Extended Mag finishing out with a total 9 kills. I mean, that's going to keep on pushing them further and further up and keeping those top spots inside the leaderboard. Third position, the Goats will again finish out in third position, coming out with a total of 6 kills. In fourth position, Friendly Fire will finish out with a total of 3 kills. And rounding up your top 5, Microtech will come out with 6 kills as well. And for Against All Odds, I mean, coming in 6th position, obviously taking that fight on to Extended Mag there, finish off with 8 kills. It's a good round for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, whenever you get more than, I want to say, 5 kills, if you get into placement at all with 5 to 6 kills, it's a good game. You know, you just need to average at least like 8 points and you will make it to the top of the league.
Yeah, 100%. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to move on to our final game of the evening. That'll be match number 4 on your angle. So stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, on to the fourth match of the evening. The last one of the evening as well for our PUBG Africa Challenger Battle of week number 8. We end our first season at the end of March, Viking, and you know, it's been a good season so far though, hey?
Yeah, I mean, we've been growing quite a bit, you know, thinking of where we started at the beginning of the year, starting with the 2 lobbies, because we had the population of teams to actually fill those 2 lobbies now. I mean, it's really nice to see that the teams are wanting to play and are wanting to improve. You know, I mean, we see so many teams putting in the effort every week, you know, trying different things and trying to work their way up to Sunday's champion battle.
100%. And obviously, when we do end the season, we do take a week's break or 2 weeks break. Can't really remember if we take a week or 2 weeks. I can't really remember. It gives you all a little bit of time to rest up, and then we start season 2 and we begin it all over again. Resetting that elo, teams coming back. You know, just that week or 2 does reset the mind, and you know, some teams can come definitely out of that one a lot better. But Viking, Sovnovka Island here, what are we seeing?
I mean, I'm hoping this is the heartthrob that I was wanting like earlier, but wow. I mean, this
don't think we've seen this ever before in our scene. Like, this is a lot of teams going to military base in Sovnovka Island here.
I mean, I don't think we ever even see like any teams really going for the military base. So, I mean, and now with this zone, I mean, that's really rough, because either the teams are like extended mag will probably go around the eastern bridge with like crossing there to Malta's side. But I mean, all these teams are going to be funneled over the bridges, and I don't see how these teams will survive. I mean, I'm wondering if any of the teams will go for a boat and maybe rotate towards Primorsk or anything like that.
I mean, that's definitely a possibility, yeah, but I want to see who wants to bridge camp the Western Bridge. That, I mean, Survivor Fighters are primed for it. If Survivor Fighters loot up quickly and get their loot and bridge camp, they can potentially get quite a bit of kills out of this one. Friendly Fire though is a little bit split up there. We got Lol Swede and we got Ugly Bunky sitting and stuff like that. Across the island we've got Pedro and Wezatron. That's a big split coming up from them, so they need to just be a bit careful for those 2 solos down in Sovnovka Island. Circle pops, and this is still quite a low bearing southwest circle here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just watching the Sosnovka Island most of the time right now. I don't really see much of the other teams doing much. You know, I mean, we've got Blowworld and Smurfs up in South George, but I don't think they're going to be fighting anytime soon. So I mean, all eyes on Sosnovka Island right now. I mean, I still don't have any plans for these guys.
I mean, Tunisian Risers are moving themselves a little bit closer towards C block here as Frenchie's busy looting up C block. Nano and DJ Epic's going to be making their way over towards that little warehouse area there. Ugly Monkey inside small... the words escaping at the moment. I don't know why words are escaping me at the moment. What a small hospital. There you go. That's what I like to call it. As Ugly Monkey does have a Dacia to play off here, but looks like he's going to rotate to the western side here, and here comes Lol Swede, but Bisso does Bisso actually spot him?
I mean, Bisso will probably hear him out.
He hasn't hit.
Are they just running past one another?
They literally... Yep, they're running past one another. Has Bisso maybe spot? No, he's still busy looting up here. And Lol Swede is gonna be given a sort of a lifeline here because he wasn't really in any position there. But Diablo's gonna take out DJ Epix, and that's from a kind of a far away here. As DJ Epix makes a Nano is sitting inside the airfield tower, and TNG gets taken out by Nano. Where's Nano trying to position himself? He's gonna go back for the hill here. The door is open. It didn't render in our side there. Frenchie though is going to come from behind here. He's going to eliminate TGN Diablo is going to spot out Frenchie here as he now tries to get himself in towards cover. And Nano going to take some shots over towards it. Diablo will get the confirm on towards DJ Apex as he bleeds up. But Kipu pushes up into the airfield tower here. And can he win out this fight against Nano? We've known Nano's been quite a good player as well. But Kipu also has shown some great aim. And oh, the headshot comes out from Crusher. That was not him. Crusher gets that shot there, putting Nano in a bit of a bad position. And Tunisian Rises taking the fight onto Microtech here.
I mean, that was some great teamwork there. You know, Kipu, I mean, probably Crusher and Diablo were both just staring at this top floor. So Kipu having like all the trust in his teammates, like following their calls, and he knew that like Nano could have either been on the left, or if Nano stood up from the other side of that cabinet, then his teammates would have taken him out like they did.
Yeah, great teamwork coming out there from the Tunisian Risers. And here comes the fight coming out as Lol Sweet does get taken out here by these fighters. The sort of a bridge camp coming out here from Survivor Fighters, but one of the members, Ugly Monkey, does make it across the bridge. And Survivor Fighters not really quick to react to their. Bish will get in their boat. And
I mean, they still have full fuel.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how far they want to rotate with the boat. I mean, I think that compound just underneath Quarry would be a good stopping point for them, but it seems like they want to get out on the southern part of military for some reason.
A little bit of a weird kind of rotation coming out. I mean, I'm also a little bit stumped why they're trying to do this, but I mean, maybe get a little bit more loot. Maybe they moved a little bit quicker. They don't beach the boat, which is a good thing, but maybe a little bit more loot for them to come out of here. I mean, Survivor Fighters probably wouldn't have heard that boat come in. And we can see that the Genesis squad is going to be rotating right next to the Friendly Fire as well. A couple teams trying to get into center here. And yet again, we see the Against All Odds members getting themselves into the center of the circle yet again. So, like we mentioned earlier, they are trying to find these places to get themselves a better advantage later into the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, Bish is back in the boat.
Friendly Fire actually about to crash onto the compound where bipolar bots are currently situated. Ramkat not able to take any shots now. Seems like Friendly Fire actually saw that the doors were open. They are making their way out. Bipolar bots missing out on 2 kills there, not being in the correct position to kill them.
Slotty Monkey is going to spot this one out though, and the shots come raining out. Ugly Monkey gets taken up there by Slotty Monkey, as that's going to be one of the members of Friendly Fire out as well. And it looks like, oh, Pedro needs to be so careful here. I don't think he does get back into his buggy and continues on his rotation and get himself out of this little compound here. From the north, the Team Werewolf Quad's going to get in from the apartment areas. The Goats coming in from the opposite side here. But look at the top of north-hand side here, as now Brothers in Arms are going to take on the fight towards Team Diversity. MPS does get Android, putting them down to 3 members. And some good work here, but they need to be careful. Pedro behind them does Brothers in Arms. As MPS now going to be holding. Will you hear? Member of Team Diversity is busy trying to just listen out here. And Gasman gets tagged up from Against All Odds from the opposite side. Mr. Lab will get missed bullet for days and confirm on that kill.
Team Diversity actually playing this really slow. You know, they lost the initial player, but now they're kind of stuck. They don't know where to go. They don't know if they really want to push or they want to pull away. I mean, Stitch is right next to the compound, so they kind of need to commit if they want him to stay alive, but also doesn't feel like they really want to commit. I mean, Stitch does get the knock now onto Rambo, so this might give Team Diversity that initial push now to overextend here, taking the shots onto MPS in the window as well, so they're going to push this, and they are going to take the fight. Gasman getting the knock onto OKBB. leaving this in a 3v2 scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Brothers in Arms needs to win out this fight. MPS gets knocked and flushed out of there straight away as Team Diversity are going for the race here. Can Slayer spot this one out here? And I mean, you mentioned that Team Diversity was just playing this one a little bit slow, but they kind of forced Brothers in Arms to come in there as Slayer gets burnt by a Molotov. Should be okay there to survive the burn there for him. But I think that Brothers in Arms, they wanted to get this, like, make their movement into this compound here, and them crossing this area here, Slayer gets taken out by Beerus, and Rambo gets taken out, just leaving Gasman left alive here for Brothers in Arms. Not going the way that they wanted. He just hides behind the corrugated steel fence there. But coming back to my thing, it's just Brothers in Arms making that movement in this little open area here didn't give them the opportunity that they needed, and Brothers in Arms gets eliminated out in 16th position. But you know, it kind of like Team Diversity is waiting for Brothers in Arms to make the movement closer. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah, out in the open to overextend themselves, where is if the two members stayed on the opposite side, could have provided a lot more control for Brothers in Arms against Team Diversity there. So you know, it's just small things that just turn a fight on its head pretty much for the Brothers in Arms. But Team Diversity do get the 4 kills in the end of the day. They do lose the 1 member though, but you know, for them it's going to be a win in their books. And the circle is, yeah, that's a circle.
Not much work to describe what's happening now. You can just see all the teams currently rotating, and I mean, everyone's going to be grouping up next to each other because there is just like half the circle is unplayable. It is.
This is insane. A little bit of circle here. Against the odds, going to spot out the Wolf Quads making their movement. Millie going to get a little bit of fire coming his way as he tries to make the no contact on towards him at this stage. As the Team Wolf Quads will continue. Bad Girl gets tagged up quite a bit there, leaving on a very low HP there. But they're playing these little dips here. This is good work here from Team Wolf Quads, getting to play as much as the zone as possible. Rogue Wolf will take out Born Slippy in the end there. Born Slippy overextends himself. Cans gets taken out there by Alpha R. And Rogue Wolf will be the last member standing here for Death Seekers at this stage. But Extended Mag now crash on towards Against Odds. Does Against Odds know about this? They don't! Slotty Monkey gets eliminated and flushed out straight away.
I mean, Mitchman and Patrick Brew actually having a really good flank here. I mean, Deathmark and Quishka are going to be so focused on Vent and the next step. If Vent was there and actually spots them out now, but to have like such a good surround positioning around against all odds right now.
As they're trying to win out this fight, the grenade comes out on towards Event there as Deathmark now trying to see if he can maybe play the small little window out on the bathroom area. Head quicker goes out for the res on towards Vent. And he's going to jump out. This is a great move here from him as Mitch Main gets knocked out there from Uchka. Deathmark is going to come around the opposite side here, and this is great play from the Against All Odds members. Patrick Brew, last member standing as the Death Seekers get eliminated out in 14th position, and this is, you know, round 2 worked out for them in the end. And Dan will hear Patrick Brew and Extended Mag out in 13th position, and great play there from Against All Odds.
Yeah, they really hit their shots and they just stood fast in their buildings and they held their angles. They let Extended Mag make the mistakes and they just took control of that fight since the first knock. I think Mitch Main going for the revive there onto Head Quicker, I think maybe cost them there because, I mean, he just stuck the res when 2 people were pushing him. If he maybe got 1 more knock there was something that his teammates could have done. But in all fairness, Against Odds played that really well.
Yeah, they did indeed Against Odds. Now will reposition themselves, get themselves ready to fight the next couple of circles here. As Bold World will take some shots on towards the Smurfs here. Kinghorn trying to get himself around the bullets that have been aimed at him. There will take up Obi from the behind. There's Bish coming from the circle from the western side. And the Smurfs will be put down to 3 members at this stage as they play this foresty area. I mean, it is likely it's going to end up in this forest area because we've seen it end up in here quite a bit of times. So, I mean, the water is going to not be existent in the next circle here. So, teams should know this. But, I mean, for Tunisian Risers and for Microtech, this is looking dire for them.
I mean, they didn't really have much else to do. You know, I think Tunisian Risers, seeing all the people that landed with them in military base, they didn't want to take the risk of going across the bridge. But now the goats actually waiting for the people to swim, just not spotting out Tunisian Risers just yet. They see French is swimming right now, so I don't think French is gonna be able to make it.
Don't think Frenchie's going to be able to make it, but the Tunisian Risers are coming out as Frenchie drowns himself. They're denying that point away from the members of the Goats here, but the Tunisian Risers have made a landfall. Kipu has made it in towards the area now, and I think for the Goats here, not spotting this one, I could be punished here. It'll be interesting to see if Kipu does actually spot out any of the members of the Goats. Crushers ZA going to be making their movement as Mingo will eliminate Tak Mazo, and Wolf Quads will be eliminated out in 11th position. And this is just a lot happening here as Ramkat. Can he get that bolty shot on towards Team Diversity? Ooh, that is a close headshot there.
Yeah, I mean, all of these teams just like fighting their own battles right now. I think most of the teams just waiting for the next zone to shift so they can see where they need to focus. I'm pretty sure like bipolar bots will still be in the zone. All the teams on the edges from left to right will need to make their movement in. So it's quite interesting to see the teams just wait it out and not try to take measures like beforehand to try and ease up that rotations that comes next now. I mean, just look at that zone. We're going to have 3 teams fighting for Ferry Pier. Survivor Fighters will probably move over to the top of the road there onto the mountain. But like all 3 teams on the left here, there's no way they can play the forest in between against the odds and Team Diversity.
No, I don't see that happening. Boldwald is going to make the rotation out now. Raven going to get in his vehicle and get that rotation just on the edge of the circle here. But it's going to be interesting to see where they want to end up here. Are they going to take the fight on towards... It looks like they want to take the fight on towards against the odds here. Don't have the circle at this stage. No, he's just busy scouting it out for his team. And this is good work here from Blowworld.
Yeah, I mean... They didn't really have much to do other than that. So they're just going for the pull-up here. They want to take on against the odds and take control of this compound. They left 2 behind to cover for in case against the odds pushed out to come and fight. But now that they've got the reach, the other 2 members of Blowworld will probably come and try to regroup here with the team.
I mean...
As Osha takes out Raven from the side of the building there.
He does indeed, and takes out Raven, but we're also going to see a fight in the northwest here from the Smurfs versus the Bish team. This is just left with Falcon left alive here. Can he do anything to maybe stop this res from happening on the Bish side? Does spot out there. Oh, not be able to control that. Baral is going to switch over towards the red dot. But he's now going to go for that res. But I think Coconut Warrior is going to peek out of this one. But oh, Mingo is going to get Coconut Warrior from the side now. And that's not going to be good as Acid gets flushed out there. Can Falcon do anything? He's going to move himself back here. And he's going to go in towards the zone, the blue zone here. But Blowworld is doing a lot of damage towards Bish.
Yeah, I didn't see any way that Bish could have survived that. I mean, they were just getting peppered from both sides. And there's not much that they can do. Even if they do make it into the zone here, I don't see... Zandog needs to grab this bike. He needs to grab the bike behind him. No, but he leaves it alone. He's just trying to make this run.
He needs to make this run, but Dan does get knocked out here. Deathmark going to go for the raise. He'll just leave Ocha left alive here as Trident gets out the 11s in the background there. We're going to leave this fight for a couple seconds here as now the Genesis team trying to defend their position here against the Goats, and Now they'll move up into the end here. H Pro S going to throw out. Oh, that nade's not going to do anything good for the goats. That grenade is not going to miss. Is going to miss as well there. So the goats not getting their grenades out, but Tunisian Rises is going to come right behind both of these teams. And I think Diablo is going to have a good sightlines on towards the Genesis team. Indeed, he does. Is he going to take the shots on? Try not aware of him at the stage. And I mean, it's really unlucky for the Genesis team here.
Yeah, but they just need to stay put now. I mean, they know that the Tunisian Risers and the Goats need to come past them. They can just sit tight here and wait for the team to start fighting and maybe third party it to try and increase their odds of survival. Alpha are actually trying to make a push out of the zone here, maybe going for the flank here, but not spotting out Crusher on his right side here.
Kipu trying to do as much as possible here. Crusher gonna get a member down as Kipu gets taken out there by H Pro S. He'll get flushed instantly there from him, and it'll just be left alive here. I don't think he can do anything, but Deervold will spot him out, and the Rusty Genesis will be able to hold their position here as Tunisian Rises kind of assist them from that angle. But here come a Blow World. They're going to push up to here. They've heard the shots coming out from there. Now Deervold out in the open here. Mr. Robot, can he get that? Tunisian Rises will get taken out in 8th position as Deervold spots out Crusher. And ooh, Dan doing a good job there. Can he actually get away from this in time here though? But Blowwilden against the odds, kind of just that fight fizzled out there, and you know now they're going to re-engage as Colapelli spots out Dan and putting down against the odds down to 2 members here. And for Blowworld, I think this is good. They're going to try and block off the rotation from against the odds here.
Yeah, I think the only problem would be Survivor Fighters having vision on Mingo and Mr. Robot here from the side. Mingo actually taking out Deathmark there as well, leaving against the odds in a really tight position there, not having much to do. I mean, even after this, I mean, against the odds are going to struggle to get across the road here. They're going to have to take on the fight and get some knocks onto Blowworld. Yeah,
that's definitely going to have to be the case there. But Survivor Fighters are literally focusing on Blowworld here, and that might just shift Blowworld into a different position here inside the zone. But Deervold going to be coming in below the Survivor Fighters here. Coming in silently here. Can he be the deadly snake in the grass here for the Survivor Fighters? It's, you know, he's done well. He's taken out Tunisian Rises. He's taken out the Goats. He's gotten the fatal blows to earn his team an extra 2 placement points inside this match. That blue zone is going to be hurting him. He's just going to hold it. It goes behind the tree here. Can he win out the fight? He does get the one knock onto this. No one turning around here for Survivor Fighters at this stage. And I'm sure they're going to be turning around now. And what can he do from this perspective? I think Deathhold's going to spot him out here. Oh, Deervold gets another one. Oh, but he does get eliminated. But well done to Deervold there. He will do the damage towards Survivor Fighters, and that's going to leave them with 1 less member. Now comes Mingo on towards Deathmog.
I mean, this leaves Against the Odds in a really difficult position. I mean, I'm just surprised that Against the Odds made it this far. You know, really good rotation coming out of Against the Odds. While Survivor Fighters and Deervold and Blowwood were all fighting. I mean, Blowwood will probably just push out Oshka now. But I mean, still good positioning coming out of there. Maybe getting that extra placement from Deervold dying.
Yep, indeed. And Against the Odds will be eliminated out there. Great work there from Blowworld. I mean, just really good work. But like you said, Against the Odds, noticing that, you know, they moved off this sort of area here. Well, they pretty much stayed in the same area. But noticing they got something to play here. But really good rotations from them. I'm really impressed with the way Against the Odds is played tonight. Blowworld, eventually they're getting a game where they can start to shine. 9 kills. I think they're going to be happy with this last end performance because this is a new team coming into the scene.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think they were just struggling to balance out their aggressiveness in the other maps. So really finding their stride in this map. We'll see if they can come out on top in this game eventually. But I mean, already sitting on 9 kills, not much more you can ask for.
No, not much, but they are defending their position here. Mingo getting a couple of tags on towards Kolopili will get knocked out there as now the push comes out from Survivor Fighters. Mr. Robot will retaliate in kind, leaving just Mingo left alive here to fight against two members of Survivor Fighters. He's going to play inside the smoke. We've got to take an x-ray just for a couple seconds here, just to see what it looks like inside the smoke here for Mingo. He could... Do they hear him though? He needs to see the smokes are starting to dissipate. But I think he's going to now get onto two members. He's going to get... Can he get the one lock? He can't! And Blowworld will get eliminated out in 5th position. And great work from Blowworld. I mean, in the end of the day, they pick up the 10 kills. And it's going to be good for them in the end of the run. I mean, they only had 10 points coming into this game. They doubled in just their kills alone.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to really put them up there on the leaderboard. I mean, unfortunate that they just weren't able to capitalize on the knocks from Survivor Fighters getting knocked first there. I think Mingo just maybe over peaking that drop onto Survivor Fighters. So, I mean, it could have gone either way. But Survivor Fighters just came on top with that fight.
Yeah,
Team Diversity actually pushing now on the other side of the map. They're trying to make their way in. I mean, they know about bipolar pods sitting in the northern part of the map. They must have heard of our fighters, so they're just trying to get close to the zone and closer to the center of the zone while they still have the opportunity to do so.
Bipolar bots, I mean, they got the 2 kills there at the moment. They haven't had much movement to do inside this lobby at this stage, as now the headshot comes out there from OKBB. I mean, 5 kills for Team Diversity. They're sitting in 4th before this game started out. Extended Mag, you know, also got out quite early, but I think they're going to still kind of, you know, come close to topping the lobby. It'll be quite a tight little fight there between Tunisian Risers and Extended Mag for the top spots. But now this is just that edge game that's going to play out. Survivor Fighters do get the 1 member of Team Diversity. Yeah, I mean,
I don't see Stitch getting revived here, so this is going to leave it into a 2v2v2. You know, I think Survivor Fighters sitting on that reach, being more central, they're just going to have to wait for the other teams to get some knocks onto one another. So, I mean, they're sitting in a really good spot here.
You can see each having their own little section to play off here. Survivor Fighters in pretty much the center of what is playable in that circle there, and they're getting tagged up here. Diversity is doing a lot of damage though across pretty much both teams now.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Lab needing pushing here. If Survivor Fighters just peek over slightly, they would be able to see.
No, you can see him directly. You can see him directly. Bisto is right next to him. If they just look, either of them look to their left or right, it literally have perfect sight lines onto each one. So that's interesting.
So focused. Both teams are focusing onto Team Diversity. And now Survivor Fighters actually losing another player from overextending there.
This might just give Bisto the angle that he wanted. Bisto just trying to look behind him now just to try and clear this one out. He doesn't spot out Mr. Lab just yet. But yeah, Survivor Fighters trying to make this push up on the side here, not able to at this stage. Rumcut does get knocked out in the back. Spearus now takes some shots on towards Mr. Lab. And Team Diversity will eliminate Bipolar Bots out in 3rd position. Now it'll be on a 2v, but he's got good sidelines onto Bisto. Bisto, this is going to be a tough fight for him, but he's got that level 3 gear. Let's see how that's all looking for him. But BRS does spot him out. Team Diversity will take out the last chicken dinner of the evening with 9 kills. And, you know, they played that one out and they did a good job. Like I said, they were dealing the damage there in the end.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to push them high up into the leaderboard. If I'm not correct, that might just tie up with or just be below Extended Mag, which died out pretty early in this game. So, I mean, the leaderboard's going to be really close between Extended Mag, Tunisian Risers, and Team Diversity. So, it's going to be interesting to see who tops that one off. But at the end of the day, I mean, we saw some great players coming out of all of these teams. You know, each and every team did their part. And it's so nice to see these teams playing every week and improving every week and just having fun.
Yes, that's exactly having fun. That's exactly what you want to see for these teams. I mean, I must say, a big shout out to Deerveld there. I mean, he did a good job there for Rusty Genesis. He picked himself up 3 kills as well, but he managed to get those kills that mattered in placement points. He got out the goats. He eliminated also the Tunisian Risers as well. You know, getting himself into the points paying position in positions wise. So really good work there from Deerveld as well. But you know, the last game ends off with team diversity in first position. Second position, as we saw, was Survivor Fighters coming out with a total of 7 kills. Bipolar bots again though, you know, even with the 2 members, they had a bit of connection issues or something like that happen with the last member not being able to join. But you know, a good strong outing for this new team returning into the scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Usually you would like to have some more kill points, but I mean, those placement points are points, and I mean, just for them to keep getting into those top 5 scenarios is a really good start. You know, it shows that they still understand how the game works, and if they just like polish some stuff, they can be a top team once again.
Yeah, 100%. Bish will finish out in 4th position with 3 kills, and running up your top 5 was Bold Wald with a total of 10 kills there. Also, another new team coming in again. You know, 10 kills in their last game. That'll give a good confidence booster going into the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they play it out. I mean, former Tricksters players you've got there, so they are really capable. Just going to be interesting to see if they keep on playing as a team and like how much they participate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, a lot of good plays coming out from a lot of these teams. It was a very diverse field tonight. So really, really happy with the way things went out with these teams tonight. Really, really good to watch. And that is it from us tonight, ladies and gents. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting the Challenger Battle yet again this week. And joined obviously by Viking. Thank you so much, dude, for joining me yet again. I dig these casts. I dig these casts with you, man.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a step up for me. I've never streamed before. I mean, not the first time. I mean, I've been doing this for like a month now, where I've been trying to help out where I can. It is fun, but I mean, it's so difficult to keep that energy up there, and I don't always know what to talk about. But yeah, I mean, it's really fun. Thanks for having me once again, and yeah, good luck to all the teams playing on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, we have our top 16 who will play on Sunday for the champion battle. Tune in there. We will be there at 7 o'clock sharp. Everyone will jump into that battlefield and we'll get ready to go yet again. But yeah, I am Godfather. He was Viking. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll see you guys on Sunday, but have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the remainder of this week. I mean, we got Friday to deal with, and you know, having a chill, relaxed time. That's what we want to hear from everyone. But yeah, until then, guys, have a fantastic rest of the week. I'll check you later. Bye for now.